Hole number 1, Spring Creek Golf Course, Hershey, Pennsylvania, right along Chocolate Avenue, if you hear the traffic. About 330 yards from this front tee coming up here shortly. I fling from the front tees because it's still about 330 yards. And I play so often, I got to save my shoulders. I'm at 51 years old. If I fling from the first 2 front tees, that saves my strength to play as much as I do. If I fling from the back on every tee, I am worn out midway through the week. My muscles are, I'm tired, I lose distance. So I've discovered that if I just go from the front on the first 2, that pretty much does the job for me. So I'll be going here shortly because they're out of range for me now. So here we go. Not as far as I like, but that's usually how hole number 1 is for me. It's almost like a warm-up. Not a bad shot. We'll see where I am. I think I'm up near the first bunker. That was a very short fling for me. I normally get up around the middle of that bunker straight ahead of us, and instead I'm right here. Love to make the green from here, but it's probably not likely. I'm capable, but again, first hole of the day, 7:44 in the morning. Let's see what I can do. Pretty close, but I think it's gonna be just off the green. But with my short game, I should be all right. Just off the green, like I thought I would be. Close, about a 200-yard shot, but just shy of the green. It should be fine though. The pin's not that far. I'm gonna use the choke-up shot here. Oh. I missed that thing by less than an inch. Unbelievable. Landed about 16 to 18 inches away, so this will be my birdie putt here. There we go. Moving on to hole number 2, the only other one where I hit from the front pins, again to save some of my strength as I play so often. This will be the 3rd time I've played 18 holes in 2 days, so let's go to hole number 2. Okay guys, hole number 2, it's about 250 yards from the front tees. I'm going up over the hill here. I don't know if you can see it, I believe you can. You have to fling or drive, you traditional golfers, up over this hill. I'm not going to make the green. You know, I'm not going to fling 250 yards. The day's going to come one day, but right now I'm hoping to get 200. My average is about 180. I can fling 200. I have flung as far as 230. I've gotten within 20 yards of this hole. It doesn't happen a lot, but I've done it. The first hole is really my warm-up, and I got a par after flinging so shortly. So the first hole should show those of you who can't fling real far that you're still capable of playing well at this game. I really flung poorly at that drive and still parred the hole. Horribly right, hit a tree. Not terrible, but nowhere near as far as I normally would get because I hit that tree. I don't know why, or left. I went left, not right. Horribly left into the tree. That's going to slow my ball down. I'm not going to get as far as I normally do, unfortunately. All right, guys. The tree ricocheted off of it, but my score's fine. But overall, not great. This drive was another poor one, probably 160 yards. Not on the fairway. I'm a little bit of the rough, but it's not high rough. It's simple rough, and that doesn't really affect us anyway, right? Let's see what I can do to get this flag. I got some hanging tree branches in front of me once again. It's going to be difficult. I'll probably hit them. Oh my God. My second shot landed just past the bunker to the right. I don't know if, I think you can see the flag right there, right? So I'm probably just going to do my choke again and hope I don't do it too hard. You know what? I'm looking at hanging tree branches. I'm going to go for a strong bunt instead. I'm going to use my bunt. I don't normally do it from this far, but I do not want to hit tree branches again. Very happy with that, guys. I'm within about 2 inches of the hole, so there's no reason I shouldn't make par. So what I'm showing you here, guys, I am throwing errantly. My drive fling has been short or hitting trees. My second fling, I try to do sidearm because of hanging branches. I end up just past the bunker down a hill. And I wish you could see, I'm going to show you where that shot landed, but we're going to see where that ball landed here. Check it out, guys. I'm talking 16 inches from the hole. Poor drive into a tree. Put me into the rough. Sidearm shot to avoid more trees. Put me beside the bunker down a hill. A strong bunt up the hill. And this would be for par. That's what the bunt can do for you. The idea of the bunt, I had to pitch that bunt harder than any bunt I've ever performed. I had to pitch it hard. Up a hill, down the green. But the idea of the bunt is to get you so close to the pin that you're not going to miss, or it's very unlikely to miss. So the side kick's a great shot too. I utilize it too. I probably will sometime today. But the bunt saved me there. Another par, even though I am not playing well in regard to the direction and the strength of my fling so far. Fling golf, if you know the short game, it can make up for everything else. Really can. Hole number 3, Spring Creek Golf Course, typically about 100 yards. Par 3. The pin's in the middle, so it's probably about 85, 90. So the idea here is I'm going to try to lay up short and possibly bounce or roll a little bit onto the green, giving myself, well, hopefully as close as possible, but I hate getting in the back of this green. Way in the back makes it ridiculous. So I don't even care if I make the green here, and if I do, I'm fine if I don't go very far onto it, because I'd rather have a shorter shot from the front end than a ridiculously long shot from the back. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to look like I'm flinging a typical drive, but there's nowhere near the power behind it as is normal. So it's going to be, the motion's going to be a typical drive, like on a 300-400 yard hole. The motion's going to be the same, but the power I'm putting in it, way less. Oh, that was bad. That was bad, guys. I don't know what's going on with my drive flings. They are horrible, but I didn't end up too bad. I don't know if you can see the ball on this camera here, but I'm probably 15 feet from the pin, but I'm in the middle of the green, and I bounced this thing 40 yards out, and it rolled the rest of the way. I am not looking like the powerhouse I can be on drives. I'm just not. But I'm still ending up okay. And hopefully that's encouraging you, those of you who don't fling super far. You don't have to. You just have to be accurate. We'll see where I am. All right, guys, my drive got me here. Pin's there. I'm going to putt it. I am not a great putter. I would normally probably side kick or bunt this. But since this is my second shot, I'm going with a putt. I don't expect to make it, but hopefully I can be real close. With the ballistic, again, it's like a pendulum between your pectorals. Best way to remember it, okay? Hold your arm stiff, run it between your pecs, and that's putting, especially for us shorter people. I'm 5'8" with the ballistic. Yeah, I figured I wouldn't make it, but I'm 6 inches away, so it should be another par. There you have it. So far, we're 3 holes, 3 pars. Hopefully, I'm showing you some stuff that's helpful, especially how to rebound from terrible drives. That's what I'm doing so far. Next hole is hole number 4. I love this hole. It sits up on a hill. We'll show you here shortly. Hopefully, I can really tear into a drive here. All right, you're looking at hole number 4 over my right shoulder here. We're up on a elevated hill. Looking well out. If you can see the tall trees to the left, I usually fling past those. There's some tall weeds past that. That's the creek. That's Spring Creek. I'm not going to hit over that. That probably, to the pin here, is probably about 260 yards. So that would make the creek probably 230 yards. Can I do it? Yes. Will I do it? Doubtful, and I don't want to be in the creek. I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but there's a tiny little patch of weeds that covers a drain plate out there, a little bit before the tall weeds in front of the Spring Creek. I aim for that. That's really what I try to get. I don't always get it, but if I can get out in that general region, that's going to give me 40, 45 yards to the pin. And that's my goal. To go about 200 yards here, 190, 200, and have 40, 50 yards to go. They're now leaving the fairway. Looks like all three of them have laid up in front of the Spring Creek. So once they're completely there, we're going to get going. Got my orange ball. Further left than I like. But I'm past the trees. I'm happy with that. I don't think I got to the little clump of weeds that I really like to get to and often do. But that was a decent drive. My best drive so far. Thank God. Because I don't know what's been wrong with me up until this point. Let's go check out the next shot. Alright guys. Not a bad shot. I'm past the two trees. I'm not anywhere close to the little clump of weeds up there that I like to try to throw to. I am a good 20, 30 yards from that. So I am probably 75 yards from the pin. You can see the threesome in front of me there. So I've got about 75 yards. This again is going to require a shot that looks like I'll stand still, but it's going to drop down my back and I'm going to fling, just not as hard as I do on a drive. Sometimes I come up short because I'm trying to not nail the green and roll the whole way across it. Because that's typically what will happen here. If I hit the green in the air, it's going to roll the whole way across and I'm going to have a long shot. Okay, and this is only my second shot on a par 4. But let's see what I can do with it. I often try to sort of do a bump and run, a long bump and run. Now, a chip bump and run, you know, is typically pretty short. This would be a long bump and run, so I probably shouldn't even call it that. But I try to nail the little bit of a slope going up to the green, hoping it bounces onto the green, slowing the roll down. Not always successful, but that's what I typically try to do. Also, roll your wrist. On shots like this, you definitely want to roll your wrist. I say you pretty much want to do that all the time. Okay, it did what I wanted. It bounced in front of the green, hopped up onto the green, and rolled. Hopefully that slowed the roll down. I'm not on top of the pin, but hopefully I'm not ridiculously far away. We'll check it out. Alright guys, my little bump and run idea, fling and run, I don't know, flop and run, because it's a long shot I made to call it a bump and run, but it's a fling golf bump and run. Just didn't run as far as I thought. It did bump, bounced onto the green, but it slowed it down too much. Now it's a long ways to the pin. Could do the choke from here. I am thinking about doing a sidecar. I don't do them often, but I feel this might be a little too close for the choke and definitely too far for a bunt. I mean, I could bunt it hard, but I'm going to try the sidecar. It's a shot I don't do often, not because I don't like it. I just my bunt normally saves me, and this is too far for that. So I'm going to try the sidecar. We'll see what it does for me. Don't do it often, so don't be shocked if it's not awesome. Yeah, not awesome, guys. Not awesome. This might be my first bogey because that's going to be a long putt. Now, for some of you, a 5-foot putt's probably not bad, but I am not the world's greatest putter. And that's what I've got left here after a sidecar that wasn't overly impressive. Yep, I missed it. First bogey of the day comes at hole number 4. I'm not real happy about that, but hey, it could be worse, right? I blew it with a pretty poor sidecar shot, and then a not a great putt for then a short putt. See, my short game is typically the choke shot and the bunt to get me within 6 to 10 inches of the hole. When I was 5 feet away on my par shot, maybe I should have had a better attitude, but I suspected I wasn't going to get it, and I didn't. So, pars on the first 3 hole, bogey on hole number 5, but at least a decent drive on this one. though nowhere near as far as normal. Next is a par 3 over Spring Creek. All right, guys, hole number 5 at Spring Creek, Hershey, Pennsylvania. You can see the wooden bridge just to my right. We're flinging over that. It's probably about 180 yards, 180 to 190 yards, par 3. It's sitting about in the middle of that. It's big greens here at Fling Golf. Big greens here at Spring Creek. All the greens are quite large. So that's where the challenge can come in. They move these pins and it's like a brand new hole. This is in the middle left. So let's see what I can do, and hopefully I don't go way too far left, and I definitely don't want in the water, right? On the green, still rolling. I'm a good ways from the pin, but I'm on the green to the right in the middle. So I'm in the middle of the green, just far right of the pin. I'm happy with that. We'll see what my next shot might be. It'll probably be a choke shot. I wasn't impressed with my sidecar on the last hole, so I'll probably do a very short, very long choke shot to get closer to the hole here. Maybe a bunt, but it looks too far for a bunt. We'll go up and check it out. All right, guys, I said I was in the middle of the green. I'm more towards the back and definitely far right of the pin. I'm going to walk over to the ball. I think you'll be able to see me. I think I'm going to try bunt. It's a long bunt, but I'm pretty comfortable with that. Not a bad bunt, but not as strong as it should have been. Hopefully I can sink this for par. Unbelievable. Perfectly on line, a little too hard. It did the run the rim thing, so that's another freaking bogey for me, making me a little annoyed. Perfectly in line putt, just went up to the hole, ran around the rim and landed an inch away from the hole. Unreal. But still, that bunt was pretty decent, but if I would have put a little more on it, I guarantee I'd have made that putt. The bunt is a great tool. But you've got to make sure you get the strength that you need, and that I let up a little bit on it, not wanting to run past the hole, and left myself. Wasn't really too long of a putt. I hit it too hard, and it just went around the lip a tiny bit. Stinks, but hey, not terrible. But I'm not happy to be 2 over already on 5 holes. Okay, guys, over my left shoulder is Spring Creek hole number 6. It's over 300 yards to the pin. All right, I'm not going to get there, obviously. We are hitting over Spring Creek once again. You can see it as it slopes down here in front of me. That's not a problem. It does peak around here to the right, which I have gotten into before because the hole, now it looks like the pin is quite straight, and that's rare. I don't know if you can see the flag from here, but it's quite straight. Very rare. Usually the pin here is around those trees, and I've gotten into trouble trying to fling over the trees to get closer to the pin, so I typically stay a little left here. You can see the threesome in front of me out there. I'm not going to drive that far, but that's the general direction of where I'll be going. I actually want to go this way. That's something you can determine, guys. You know, you can slide back and forth just like a regular golfer, depending on where you're going, and I want to be more to the right here and throw a little towards the left, hopefully not too left. I'm always looking over my shoulder to make sure my club head is straight and not angled. Guys, if you're not looking over your shoulder and you're this way or you're this way, guess what? You're not flinging straight. So I'm always looking over to make sure I'm straight. I've got a loose grip. I am choked the whole way up to the end of the handle. Okay, loose grip, club is straight. Guys, I completely lost that. I don't know what happened. I'm filming, so I'm jinxed today or something. So I'm gonna fling another one because I didn't see where that went at all. Hopefully I'll run into it, but I didn't see it. But see why I didn't see it. The sun's behind a cloud, but it's peeking out at the white part of the cloud just enough to be like a camera flash in my eyes. And I lost that one. I did see that one a little better, but that sunspot right, like a weatherman here, where am I going? Right there. You can't tell it on the camera, but I'm telling you, it's super bright when you look up into it, and that's about the height of my flings. So it's blinding me. Let's go see where they are. Guys, the beauty of fling golf. I lost the shot in the sun, just walked straight and ran into it, okay? It was slightly left, but still well on the fairway. Right here, I'm probably, I don't know, 120 yards, 130 yards to the pin, just pretty much straight ahead. But to the left lies Spring Creek again. It's always, not always, but a lot of holes, it's a danger here. So I'm going to want to try to keep it straight. To the right is the creek, to the left is the creek, in the middle is the pin. Let's see what I can do here. And this is the first ball I threw. I did throw two. I picked the other one up. It was a little more right and a little less, not as far, which is fine. It was a second shot because I thought I might have lost the first one. Should have known better. It was pretty much straight ahead. Again, is that straight in there? Bounced up on the green. Can't tell how far. It's not close, not super far. We'll go check it out. I'm happy I'm on the green in two for sure. All right, guys, see the ball here? It's actually on the fringe of the green. It rolled a little further than I thought. So I'm going to try my bunt. That's what a bunt's supposed to do for you. If it's not going to go in for birdie, which I would have preferred, that's 6 to 8 inches from the hole. That's the bunt for you. That's what it's supposed to do for you. Eliminate long punts. Putts. Not punts, that'd be football. We're not kicking the ball, although they do play kick golf here at Spring Creek. We're playing fling golf. Back to par. After 2 bogeys in a row, it feels good to get a par again. Hole number 7, probably about 240 yards, between 240 and 260, depending on the tee pin placement and the flag pin placement. Right here, again, you're going. That isn't Spring Creek. It's pretty much a dry gulch. You couldn't walk in there if you wanted to. It's just a jungle of weeds and mess. It's they call it like a natural area for animals and such. Whatever, someplace you don't want to hit into. I'll easily drive, fling drive over that. I've never hit the green here. That would be nice. I usually get within, I don't know, 30, 40 yards. Second shot. Flag is almost always at the back of this green, which I'm kind of thankful for because it's a majorly downslope green. It's flat on the back for about 5 or 6 feet and then slopes down from there. So unless you hit in the middle, and that'll be my second shot, not this one, you're rolling down, you're rolling back. It's annoying. I typically can get close enough to the back that I'll stay still, but that doesn't mean I'll be close to the pin. This first shot, I'm hoping for 200 yards. I drape this way down where it's practically touching my hind end. I look, is it straight? I want to go a little bit left here. I went pretty left. But still on the fairway. I went more left than I had planned, but still on the fairway. I'm pretty good. We'll check out that next shot. I'm hoping it's an easy shot. Should be an easy shot to the green. How close to the pin, I can't say. We'll see. All right, guys, not a terrible shot. Probably only about 175 yards. I typically can swing up to that bush there. So my power's just not with me today, but I've been all right. I've been all right. You're not seeing my power as much as I can. It is my 3rd time playing in 2 days. I'm going to blame that. But again, my score's okay. But my distances have not been great. But this leaves me with, 60 yards to the pin. Again, you want to get it. This is a little bit more down on this, again, huge sloping green than is typical. But it seems to always be towards the back and towards the right. I want to get it to the back of the green, but I'm a little nervous to go too far. But I want to go back and right. I will probably go towards the front and left. I will not step into this at all. It'll be a typical shot with not as much power and no step. Hit way out front. And it rolls left every time. So not a great position. I'm on the green, but I'm a good ways from that pin. I've got a bunt or putt uphill with a green that breaks pretty strongly. So let's see what I can do. I am, oh good Lord, a good ways from the pin, I would say 20, 25 feet. I've got to go uphill. I probably should try a sidecar. I'm not real comfortable with all the better I am at them. So I'm probably going to do a bunt. A little bit of a weak bunt. I should have bunted harder, but we'll see what I can do. I've got 4-foot putt. Not real comfortable with that. I failed myself with my bunt, leaving myself 4 feet away from the pin. Missed the putt. It was close, but not close enough. So there's my third bogey. 3 over on 8 holes. No, I'm going to the 8th hole. 3 over on 7. I really got to hold this, guys. I mean, I was 5 over and 6 over on 18. So at this pace, it's not bad to match what I did yesterday, but I'm not going to improve at this rate. But I could get a birdie. Not holding my breath, but I could. That was my third bogey there. Just whenever my bunt or a side kick, when I don't do it just right, and it leaves me with something longer than, 10 inches, I'm almost always doomed. Not 100% of the time. Sometimes I nail putts that blow my mind, but not frequently. I'm not a good putter. That's why I plan on getting a green, artificial turf, installed at my home next spring. I've got to become a better putter. I just have to. All right, guys. Hole number 8, 100 yards. This green, excuse my language, but this green is a bitch. It slopes up and down. So it basically goes like that. Like, wait, remember the breakdancing days? That's what this green looks like. Yes, I used to breakdance as a teenager. Honest to God. Mind-blowing, I know. So this is tough. I'm going to want to lay up short here, roll or bounce the ball onto the green, because I do not want in the back of that green, because it's all downhill from there, and you will almost always end up back at this end, unless you just have a magical touch, which I have on occasion, but it's rare. This is the hardest green on the course, in my opinion. The last one, 7, is tough, and I bogeyed it. This one's tougher. The pin placement is towards the front. That helps. When that pin is in the middle, I have double bogeyed this hole. It is nasty, it is difficult, and it stresses me out on some level, especially when I'm already +3. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to try to lay up and just roll softly up towards the hole. That's my best shot. See, it's going way back and way to the right. I'm in trouble. I bounced that ball halfway between here and the green, and it still rolled. What's the song? Keep rolling. That's what my ball did. And now I'm in trouble. Let's see if I can get out of trouble, but no promises. This is a tough shot to capture, guys. I'm way in the back of the green. Not on the fringe, but close. The flag's right here. Setting up a camera by myself. Luckily, there's no one close to me. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see me from where I'm putting it at. I don't. Trying to get the flag and the ball in the same shot is difficult. That's how far apart I am. But if I disappear here, try to watch the green. Shot my yellow ball here. I've got to make this for par, and it's very unlikely. Very unlikely side kick shot. I need this for par. I have my doubts. Yeah, I could light this green on fire. I hate this green. All right, guys, this is one of my favorite holes, hole number 9. Again, up on a hill, overlooking the fairway down to the clubhouse. Sometimes you can't see the Hershey smokestacks from where my camera's positioned right now. That's kind of a cool view when you can. My goal here is to go as right as possible. I mean, up and over these trees. Even though the green is straight ahead, there's a big hill. And if you bounce over that hill, I'll clear the hill, okay? I mean, I'll hit on the hill in the very least. The bounce, you don't know what it's going to do, ever. It's either going to bounce straight ahead, which is great, bounce right, which isn't bad, or bounce left and get you down in this grove of trees, which is horrible. I've been down there while flinging straight. I've gotten ridiculous bounces, not my fault, just hit in the middle of that hill and it's going to bounce and you don't know which way it's going to bounce. If you get a good bounce, well, God bless you. If you get a bad bounce, it's just ruined the hole for you, most likely. So my goal is to go very right here. So I don't know how well you can see the ball. I'm using a bright orange one, but if you see it go extremely right, that's my goal. I want it to go extremely right. Pretty right, but it came back to the middle. It started right, swerved back to the left. I hit in the middle. Thankfully, it stayed in the middle. It did not go crazy left. If I get a good second shot at the pin that's right in the middle of the green, sure would be nice to get a birdie, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm +4, and I'm really not happy about that at all. All right, guys, again, my power isn't what it normally is. I normally fling the balls to the bottom of this hill. Okay, just another 30 yards or so. So I'm probably about 175 instead of 200, 205. Still got a nice clean shot. I've got 2 bunkers that I could land in. Don't want to do that. I have eagled this hole. I have made this in 2 shots. And the golf pro here was here when I did it. He was cutting grass right here. I was on that side of the fairway instead of this side. I flung the ball. It bounced once, twice, and on the 3rd bounce, it smacked the flag and fell directly in the hole. Yeah, the golf pro was here, so I have a witness. I have eagled this hole. Am I predicting that here? Not on your life. That was a, you know, I don't want to say once in a lifetime shot, but it's not something you can count on. All right? So I'm going to throw as straight as I can towards that pin in the middle of the green and hopefully don't under or overdo it. Again, I'm going to stand still and just give it some power this way. It's towards the back of the green, good ways from the pin, so I'm either going to need a sidecar, a choke, or a bunt to get it close for me. Hopefully I get it close. I really need to stay at par here. I do not want to go more than 4 over on 9 holes. I do not, under any circumstance. Serious downslope here, guys, so I think I'm going to bunt, but I got to be real careful. This is really going down. A birdie. Exactly what I needed. I bunted that sucker in, down a hill, into the hole. That's the bunt of the day. That's the stroke of the day. This is Fling Golf, 9 holes plus 3. I just took one away, baby. Fling Golf is golf minus frustration.